Hello, 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 family. Hello, hello, hello. All right, family, 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 family. Hello, hello, hello. Are we ready? All righty, family. Hope everybody is well. Thank you for joining. Like and share the video. All right, family. How are we doing this amazing, beautiful day? I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you can hear me. Thank you for joining. Like and share as you come in, you guys, because we are in for a treat. I have put the I don't know if I can. I'm gonna try to put it in the comments section. I don't know. It's not been letting me put the call in. Oh, it let me do it. Okay, okay, with it, it's there. So it's in the comments. If you want a question, you have comments. I welcome everybody. I am doing a blog talk also, blog talk radio. Thank you for joining. You are joining new construction, reconstruction, also the changing of the gods. And the title tonight, I'm sure you guys have seen it. Why have we ignored the elephant in the room? Okay. And this topic is going to include a lot of stuff. You guys like and share so that we can bring other people in because it's time for Black folk to wake up. It is time for us to wake up. We've been sleeping way too long and we have just been, I don't know, The Walking Dead. Is that a good one? How's my sound? Is everybody, am I on time? Is it sounding good, you guys? Strange fruit, let me know. Okay. Greetings, everybody. Thank you for joining, though. I do appreciate you guys. Even on Blog Talk, thank you for joining. Even if you're going to see this a little later and you check in a little later, thank you for taking the time out because you didn't have to. And I do appreciate you taking the time out. Thank you so much. I do have, let me give Blog Talk the number if you want to call in on Blog Talk. If you don't want to be on my YouTube Live, you can call it 563-999-3682. Again, that's 563-999-3682. Thank you for checking. Thank you, Strange Fruit. And that is the number to call in on my Blog Talk line. Okay, don't be ashamed. Let's come on. Let's talk about this. Why have we ignored the elephant in the room? And it's talking about our entertainment. We're talking about voting. We're talking about knowing that we have stuff as Black Americans that need to be taken care of, but we refuse to do the work. We refuse to do the work. We have refused to actually know that there's stuff that we need to do, and we're just waiting for other people to do, and other people are not going to do for us what we can do for ourselves. And by the way, other people don't want you to do. They don't want you to get on top. They don't want you to get up over them because they know we can do it because they saw with Black Wall Street. So why would they want us to do for self? Why would they want us to get our minds together to move to the next level? Let me ask you something. For my Democratic who love, I mean, I know you guys saw Kamala Harris. I know you guys saw that Joe Biden picked her, right? What do you guys think about that? I think that was the worst ever. I do. I think that was the worst choice ever. And I'm gonna tell you why. Name me law, one law that Obama wrote, okay, that either got vetoed or got passed, or he even tried to present as being our president for 8 years. Name me one law. Name me one thing that he did, and it was not for everybody. I'm talking about one law that he wrote just for us. Terrible. Okay, what are you saying? You say good, then you say terrible. Is the sound okay? Or are you talking about my subject? Philip. Okay. Tell me one law that he presented to, for us, for Black people, period. I'm not talking about my own minorities, because when you start talking about minorities, you get it confused, because like Dr. Claude Anderson said, when you talk about minorities, you could be talking about hunchback, you could talk about women, you could talk about the GP, LGBT, or you can talk about the dwarfs, you can talk about the, women, you can talk about anybody, but not necessarily Black women. So help me to understand, for my sold out Democrat Party, how is it that we are so sold out for people that have promised us nothing and have done nothing for us? That, and I was reading a little bit about them um, earlier, about the Democratic Party, and I was trying to find out how they were formed, and where they came from, and all this good stuff. I just wanted to understand, what does it mean? What does it mean to being a Democrat? You know, from what my understanding was, they came out of two parties. Okay, they kind of split apart. Okay, and the Democrats, as far as I see, they have caused more harm than good for Black people. Okay, over the years, Reconstruction happened. We were Republicans. They tried to stop us from voting in Republicans. They one man got the office who was Black in like 18 well, I want to say 18 something, 1875. He, was voted in or something. This was way back. He was voted in as mayor. They refused to allow him, because he was Black, to take the seat as mayor, and they literally tried to run this man out of town. But back in the day, Black folk had arms. Okay, we didn't have as much as white folk, but we still, some of them did stand up to the Klan members, and things that came in their different cities. They're not going to tell you this, because, of course, they don't want you to know this, because they don't want to give you any ideas. Okay. But my thing is, they ran this man out of town and wouldn't allow him to get into his office. And these were your Democrats. These people were horrible. You need to look up what the Democrat really stood for. And if you looked up and did your research, you would run from the Democratic Party. I'm running from both of them, for real, because both of them will not do, or are not going to do anything for Black people. But my thing is, I do believe that we have to vote locally, and we can vote, run for the mayor's office, the DA's office, the city council office, the school board office, and we can have, like, say, for instance, I think we talked a little bit about this the other day, but if we choose one person, for instance, Strange Fruit can run for mayor, and I can run for student council, and Philip, you run for another student council, and Candace, you can run for an office, and we get three people on that city council, on the board. Guess what? We can change our situations that way, locally. I think that's better than any other way we could ever try. Federally, you're not going to have a chance, because white supremacy is not going to give you an opportunity to get in that high position, because you got to sell out, you got to do some things, you got to, you got and let me help you to understand a lot of why Black people are not getting things done, because we're not putting money behind anybody. We just say, okay, vote for me. But the Mexicans, the Asians, the Jews, APAC. Okay, the Jews they are hard on APAC, and the Jews have put money behind APAC. So that's why they get so. The Jews get $10 million from America per month. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that until I heard somebody tell me that, and I was like, "Are you serious?" They get $10 million per month from America. Why are we giving the Jews reparations for what? Something that didn't even happen in America. I don't understand. Help me understand that. I'm missing that point totally. I totally missed that one. But we are giving the Jews $10 million per month, just because. But you have to understand, everybody else puts money behind their candidate. Let's talk a little bit about this Paul. We talked a little bit about him, Fannie and Fannie Willis and Paul Howard. How Paul Howard had he was the young man, the DA in Georgia. And I'm very upset and very I'm just through with Black folk. I'm really having a bad day with you guys right now, because I'm upset because we did not support. This man put his neck on the line. He put his career on the line for Black people. He actually brought charges up on the police officer that shot Mr. Brooks. He brought charges up on him. And I mean, these were some serious charges. White folk got mad. The police union got mad. The police union went out to set out to get somebody to replace him. They knew his reelection was coming up. They went out on purpose and got somebody that worked in his office under him, which is Miss Fannie Willis, and they paid her and they supported her. And I think that is an integrity issue. I think the police union should not be able to put money behind anybody, because therefore you are expecting favors now. If I give you money, I'm looking for a favor, right? The LGBT backed Obama. They were looking for favors, and what did he do? He gave them what? He granted them they were able to marry, right? So they backed him with money, and Obama did for them. And a lot of people say, well, we didn't ask Obama for anything. Well, guess what? We shouldn't have had to. He was black, wasn't he? He knew the need. He knew what we needed. That's just like me having children, and I don't take care of them. I don't feed them. I don't clothe them because they didn't ask me to clothe them. I know my children need to be clothed, right? I know my children need to eat, right? I know my children need shoes, right? So why am I going to ask you, who's a black man, who's in office, who's representing black folk, supposedly, but you did nothing for us? And then somebody had the nerve to say, well, we didn't ask for nothing. Okay, white folk don't ask for anything, but guess what? They already have a standing order that this is what we're going to do. This is what we need done. The NRA backs everybody. The Jews back who they need. And they get laws across the field. They get laws on the books and they get stuff done. The only people that don't get stuff done is black folk. And why? Because we don't put money in. We don't put skin in the game, and we don't put money behind anybody. Paul Harris, we didn't put any money behind him. We didn't even back him when he stepped out there and he tried to protect, and he tried to at least bring charges on one of those officers that killed Mr. Brooks. Okay. Did black folk appreciate him? Did we stand up for him? Did we support him? No, we left him out there to hang. And I don't understand why. We should have left him in office. He should have been on our mind. That's what I'm saying. He should have been really on our mind because of the simple fact he stepped out there for us. So we should have remembered the favor, and we should have returned the favor. It's not like we're paying anybody to do anything. We don't pay because we don't know, because we were not taught to pay. So we didn't know we had to. But everybody else was paying our leaders. Everybody else paying the minority, the Black Caucus. They're getting paid by the Asians, by the immigrants, and they're getting paid by LGBT, because they have on their slogan as far as their webpage. Look up their webpage. Nothing on the Black Caucus webpage talks about black people. It says minorities, which could mean anybody and everybody but black folk, because they're not doing anything for us. So we have to start putting skin in the game, put money behind people. If we actually want people to do stuff for us, we have to start putting money behind these different candidates. Okay, Paul Howard, I'm going to jump back and forth. It's almost like we spit in his face. We didn't even thank him for bringing the guy up on charges. We looked at him like, well, that was your job, and we kept moving. No, we should have made a big deal of that, and we should have stuck behind him, and we should have came out in droves, just like we came out in droves for Kaepernick, who knelt for us. But this man, we left him in the dark. I don't understand why. Somebody tell me why. Why did we not support Paul Howard and keep him in office so that he can complete what he started? We should have showed them this is our dude, and we are supporting him, and you guys better stand down. But we didn't do that. We left him out to dry. So I think about when we stepping out to help black folk, do we really step out to help black folk, really? Because I don't know. I don't see where we're getting the support from each other. I don't see where you didn't step out for him, but you stepped out for Kaepernick. Why? Kaepernick took knee. This guy Kaepernick put his career on the line, but he didn't know, I don't think at the time, that he was putting his career on the line. But Paul Howard put his career totally on the line for us, trying to do something for us, and we didn't even support him. And Miss Fannie Willis, who the police union is supporting, do you really believe that she's going to press charges on any of those police officers? Nope. You can forget it. We're done. We are done. I mean, Georgia, they don't have anything to say now. If nothing gets done, like prosecuting of the police officers, if that doesn't happen, Georgia has nobody to blame but themselves. Because when it was time to support, you dropped the ball. And I went on her page and I went on his page to see what people were saying, and more people were supporting her. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. The police union is supporting her. Why are you supporting somebody that the police union is supporting? Because they're going to look for favors. That's why they put money behind her. That's why they put skin in the game, because they know we need to put money behind her, because we gonna have her. That's gonna be somebody, they gonna look black, but we gonna own them. Just like Tammy Kemp with Botham Jean's case, the police union was behind her. That's why they put her up on that bench, because they knew that if it was up to her, that girl she wouldn't have spent one day in jail. But the only reason she went to jail was because it was a jury, and they didn't give her all the time because the family members went up and started hugging and kissing her on the time. Oh, we don't want you to go to jail. But that's another story. But I'm telling you, Tammy Kemp was paid by she was backed by the police union. And that's what I don't understand. Hi, 504. Thank you for joining. We have to understand that when somebody steps out there and is going to support us, then we have to support them. We can't leave them out there high and dry. That's crazy, you guys. Okay. Let me see. Do you guys know about this case where Kamala Harris, this Daniel was Larson and Jamal True Love? Okay, there was a story, and I want you guys to look it up about Jamal True Love. And this young man, it was on Kamala's watch. Okay, and this is this is one of the two stories that this young man got 50 years for a botch case, a case that somebody, one of the witnesses or so-called witnesses, said that they didn't see him. He wasn't there. He wasn't around the crime. He didn't commit the crime. And the police ragged on her so bad that eventually she changed her story. Okay. And they offered her $65,000 to relocate her, to move her if she would testify against him. Okay. So who wouldn't do that? If somebody's offering you $65,000, this is okay, duration. It's not just one time, it's the duration of your life. They offered her $65,000 and she gave up testimony. And the testimony was that she thought that he looked like the person that had, he had killed somebody. Okay. But he had proof that he wasn't there. The police had botched the case. They had lied, did, fake false reports. And we all know. And I really do believe that we should really, a lot of those police cases, if not all of them, a private a private facility should be hired to go and look up all the cases over the years that has been done that's been questionable by police, and they should really do some homework on some of those cases, because some of those cases have some of these people in jail didn't do it. They shouldn't even be in jail. And I remember one time I worked in the jail, and one of my inmate of mine, she was accused of killing a young lady, and she was in there for 10 years, and she had a little baby, just had a baby, and the baby would come in, and from little bitty baby, and when I got there, he's walking and and carrying on. But this girl got 10 years for murder, right? And she didn't do it, okay? And she kept saying she didn't do it, and she kept explaining, well, they got me in here for murder, but when I left the girl and the boyfriend had took, I guess it was the boy's ex-girlfriend, and her and the ex-girlfriend got to fighting. So the girl stabbed the ex-girlfriend. But the boyfriend, now listen to this. Now this is a kicker. The ex-boyfriend volunteered to take her to the hospital. Okay. He didn't call an ambulance. He volunteered to take her to the hospital. And come to find out, the young girl's, the one that was in jail, her brother ended up becoming an attorney and helping his sister out, and found out the truth. It took her like 7 years, 8 years to get out. But she, her brother went to school to become an attorney and got her out of jail, got on her case, and found out that the boyfriend murdered her on the way to the hospital and pinned it on the girlfriend that was in jail. I'm just saying, it's just crap. That's crazy. But I just want to help you I'm trying to show you that sometimes, these cops are dirty. They are liars. They have no integrity. And that's been proven over and over and over again. How many times do cases come where people have been in jail for 25, 30 years, or almost, on death row, or have life, and they come to find out that they didn't do it? One man had been in there, 35, 40 years. We're talking about 30 years. And they come to find out that he was innocent. And there's no amount of money. Your whole life is gone. They did award this young man $13 million, but even that's not enough. He spent 7 years in jail trying to fight this case, but come to find out that everything was faked. The testimonies, and Kamala Harris knew about it. Kamala knew about it. Okay, but it ignored it, and it was police misconduct and everything, and a lot of stuff was happening on her watch that she totally ignored. She totally she even wrote a book about bias against law enforcement. It was a book that she wrote 2009. You guys might want to look check it out. It's called Bias Against Law Enforcement. Okay, so she stands real. I'm telling you, don't think you're gonna get no laws changed, black family, with her and Biden in the law in the White House. Okay, do not think that they're going to have any love for black people. Biden has over the years never had love for black folk. Okay, and Carmela has not either, and she's got a lot of complaints. I mean, it was cases where police officer misconduct, as far as one man had one police officer had shot somebody, right, and it was very very questionable, and the DA under her wanted to prosecute, and she wouldn't allow it. I mean, she fought that thing. She did appeals and all this stuff. I mean, her record, if you guys look at her record, it is like she was police honey down. The police couldn't do any wrong. And she backed them, she backed the badge, honey. So I'm just saying, if y'all think that Carmela's gonna come in there and save the day, no, she's not saving nothing. She's saving her white husband and her white family. Okay, because she's part Indian, and she really leans on that Indian side of the family. A lot of times your dad's not there and the mom is there, and she's Indian, so you're gonna lean toward the white side of the family. And you know that, you guys, you have a little mixed going on, and the wife is white. That child or that family tends to lean a little bit more toward the white side. Okay, so we all know that that's nothing. That's nothing new. Okay, but she ignored police misconduct. I mean, complaints was coming left and right, and she wouldn't prosecute any of them. So we have to really know and be ready for who we're getting in office. We got two bombs, okay, two dynamite bombs. And I mean dynamite, because Biden, that thing right there, I mean, he did some stuff and he bragged about it. And he, till this day, um, he's not wrong his right with the black family. He's not came and apologized because he said nothing was wrong. He did nothing. And then I hear, he said the Black Caucus was for it, which I do agree. The Black Caucus was, the pastors was, the leaders, Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, all of them was behind it. And that these are men that have sold out civil rights leaders, right? But they were for that crime bill that he wrote in 94. No, he wrote his in, was it 84? I think it was 84 crime bill. 94, I'm sorry, 94 crime bill. But everybody, a lot of people was behind him. But my thing is, why would you even do it? And my thing is, being black, why would you even suggest, backing it? Why would you back such a horrible bill that only targeted black people? When you hear them talk about going hard on drugs, and now he's talking about violence, family violence, violence on guns, and he's trying to take the guns. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you what, these white folk ain't gonna let them have them guns without a fight. I'm telling you, they're gonna have a fight on their hands. But Biden and Carmela is trying to go against NRA and take those guns because they're trying to combat the school shootings. But my thing is, why don't you combat racism? If you really want to handle, if you really care and you really want to stop the violence due to the guns, let's take care of racism, okay? Because that's what it's all about. When Rudolph went in there and shot those 9 church members up in the church, and nobody had sense enough to take that Negro out. I'm just saying, nobody had sense enough to take him out. That's crazy. How do you sit up there? It's 9 of you to 1 of him. If Philip, if you had been sitting there, you, Joshua, and Strange Fruit, we'd have been sitting there, I'd have been looking at somebody better move. Somebody get the top, we get the bottom, ladies, or something. Because I'm gonna tell you what, we would have went out like that. I'm just saying, my life or yours, brother, you gone. You are out. Hey, honey. But my thing is, we have to start understanding that it is time for us to do. Okay, that's fine. It is time for us. Sorry, you guys. My husband got to come in here. He needs a little attention. Y'all know how y'all mean. All right. Okay. But we have to understand that it is time for us to really know who we're putting in office. We have to do our homework. We have to think about the consequences. Okay. I'm not saying I'm gonna tell you, I think both are the devil and Satan, and both of them are bad. It's just like a good witch and a bad witch. Which one do you trust? You trust neither, because guess what? Both of them put curses on you, right? So which one would you trust? I'm just saying, we have to really start doing our homework and understanding what's really going on here. We know that there are things in the Black community that we need to do, that we need to get done for us, right? What's it going to take for us to do for us? What's it going to take for us to really write down 5 things that you know that needs our priority attention right now in the Black community? And that one, I think, is education. Okay, our education system sucks, and we right now, this is a reset. Okay, we should be focusing on this reset. Okay, to get the truth and to understand what's really going on. We should be understanding right now, looking at the educational system, and we should either educate our own children, okay, whether it's homeschooling, or we get with a company that's going to do it virally nationwide. We have got to, and they actually need to be teaching the children. The teacher don't need, I mean, these kids don't need to be, well, you do assignment, blah 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 blah, and nobody's explaining it. No, I mean actually physically teaching them for maybe 5 hours, from maybe 9 to 2. Let me see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 9 to 3, 9 to 2, and 9 to 3. I think they should have a recess, I mean, break in between lunch. And then I think they should be, yeah, I think 9 to 3, they should be in class, going, getting their education, because you can't leave a child at home and say, okay, I need you to get on the computer at whatever time and expect him to sit there and do with nobody around. So this is why we as Black folk need to start really getting our own businesses, you guys, because our children are going to need us more than ever. I would not dare think about putting my child back into these schools. Right now, you got kids wearing masks, right? I don't see a 5-year-old keeping a mask on for 8, 9 hours, what, 7, 8 hours a day. I don't see them doing that. I don't see you sitting in a classroom with a child and no recess, and they're going to sit there all day and that's what, play in the room, play in the classroom. I don't know. It's just so, times are changing, and it looks really weird for me. It looks really weird. Okay, I want us to write down like 5 things that you know that's really important. And like I said, education is one. You guys, we've got to do better. We got to work on our wealth, and we talked about the silver, and that's a good way of working on your wealth, because when they do it, doing a reset. Because haven't you guys went to the store and they tell you, well, we don't have change. You have to have exact change. Okay, they're getting ready to do a reset. They're getting ready to pay off your student loans, IRS, taxes, all of that's going to be gone. And Trump already said that, but he said it's going to be for a year, right? Watch this. It's going to be longer than that. They don't want to panic anybody. If the world is pretty much going to hell, you don't want to. You're not going to. Tell everybody, hey, the boat, the ship is sinking. Okay, you're gonna let them, on the Titanic. They didn't tell people the ship was sinking, did they? They was up there playing the little music like like wasn't nothing happening, and they played the little music and people still around there drinking and dancing and everything else, right? Until they started, at the end, they kind of saw, well, hold on here. I see they playing the music, but it was a distraction. And that's what they're doing now. They're distracting us, right? You have to understand, when they're doing something over here, look over here on this side. When they over here on this side, you look over here on this side, because they're doing something. We're missing something, you guys, and we have to stop being so naive, and it's almost like we're still brainwashed thinking that these people got our back. They don't. They don't care if you ever get it. They're hoping that you never get it. They're hoping that you stay dumb and stay stuck and stay stupid and stay blinded. They're hoping, they're counting on that. Because I'm gonna tell you what, over the years, and I'm gonna get it, the page where I'm gonna read off it was riot after riot after riot. We had the New York riot, we had the St. Louis riot, we had you had so many riots that was caused by the Democrats, and it was done on purpose. And what, Black Wall Street was bombed by your government. Your government bombed, and that wasn't the only city that was bombed. There were many cities that was bombed by the U.S. government in the U.S. I'm just saying, that's crazy. How are you part of the U.S.? And because I want to be free and I want my own part, just like the Asians have their little cities, Japanese have their little cities, Italians have their little cities, the Jews have their little cities, but the Black folk can't. We are the only ones that they're sprawled everywhere. So they can. We have our little areas. They come and gentrify it, or they come and riot it. They come and wreak some kind of havoc on it, because they know that if you leave them Black folk to themselves, We're going to run and leave them, honey. They know we will be up and doing our best. You know what we can, because they know what we can do. We already showed them in Black Wall Street what we was all about. We had a whole city within the city. We showed them when we came out of slavery. We had 200 cities when Martin Luther King said, "Come on, we're gonna integrate with these over here, these devils over here." And that nobody tell me why nobody said, dude, no, we're not going over there. We didn't been over there already. We didn't integrated with them. We've been enslaved with them. Nobody had the nerves or the guts to say, heck no, we're not getting back up under them. We just came from under them. Why would you go and get back up under your enemy? Let me see. Yeah. But why would we want to get up under our enemy? I don't understand that. We've got to get to the point, you guys, that we are not so easily persuaded to get off focus. Just like I said, vote locally. How many people on here? Philip, you can run for mayor. Straight through, you can run for city council. Judy, you can run for mayor of your city. Why aren't we doing this and we get behind each other as a block? We support each other. We say $10 and whoever, say for instance, Strange Fruit wants to run for mayor, and I'm in her district. I'm gonna say $10 a month or $10 every 2 weeks for her. Take $10 every 2 weeks for the next 2 years. Okay, say you start out 2 years. That's gonna be what? That can come up, and depending on the group of people, you get a lot of supporters, Strange Fruit, and each supporter saves maybe $20 a month for you, just or $10 a month. If for 10 years, you can have a really nice piece of money that's going to back you, that's going to help you to run for that office so you won't have to do it by yourself. It's a way that we can do it. If everybody else is backing theirs with money, we can back ours up with money. But we have to vote for that person. But we have to know, give that person the demand. This is our demands. This is what we want. This is what we're going to need you to do. If you cannot do blah, 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 you're going to have it written down. This is what we need for you to do. And that person do it. That's the only way we're going to be free. If we're gonna be free, it's gonna be up to us. I don't know why we keep focusing on white supremacy to free us. Israel, we cannot depend on white folk to save us. White Jesus ain't even gonna save us. Okay, white Jesus, that's their Jesus. Okay, our Jesus, okay, we can't even look for white Jesus to save us, Caesar Borgia. Okay, because he's not coming, not for you. He coming for them. But you have to understand, it is time for us to get focused and wake up and understand what's it going to take really for us to really be free in this country. It's going to take total separation. And I'm just saying, it's going to take us getting the heck up out of here, because there is no way that we can be around them and focus. We cannot love them, because it's almost like you know how some children you meet and they can't, it's almost like when they're with the dad, they love the dad. When they're with the mom, they love the mom, but it's almost like they can't love them at the same time. That's how we are. When we got them, when the white folk are here, we can't love each other. If we only had us, then we'll love each other. Okay, that's what it's going to take. Then we need to be on our own. We need to be separated from them. Just for a minute, I'm just saying, until we get to the point where we've healed up, then we can be with other people. But right now, we can't afford to share the love, because right now we got to share the love with us. Right now, we got to learn how to love us. Right now, we got to learn how to understand us. Right now, we have to get unbrainwashed. We got to get this Willie Lynch stuff, this Stockholm syndrome out of here that was placed in here. We got to put in some of our culture. We got to learn some of our history. We got to learn the code of behavior. We have to teach our children the code of behavior. It's things that we have to do that we can't do with them, because guess what? The first thing they're going to do is say, oh, you guys are racist. But guess what? Hold on. How am I racist? Because I put mine first. Don't you put yours first? So why am I racist? Because I put mine first, but you put yours first. So help me to understand, how am I racist when I put mine first? I love my people just like you love yours. I love my family just like you love yours. So why is it? But they've been so used to us putting them first. They've been so used to the property putting them first. You have to understand, they still see us as property, right? They still see us as property. That's why they have an issue with saying racism is wrong, because it's always been like that. It's never changed. So now all of a sudden you're going to say I'm wrong, and I've been like this forever. So how am I wrong? That's why they don't understand, because nothing has changed. They've always been this way to us, with us. And now we want to call them out, and they're looking at us like, what are you calling out? What's wrong? What's going on? And then you can't believe you can't believe that. You don't see the police shooting us. You don't see the police murdering us. You don't see that he just shot somebody's son that had a phone in his hand or a pen in his hand or whatever. Did you not see that? And they look and they, well, he should have complied. Well, are you complying? You don't have that they're not treating you like that when they stop you in a car. So why do we have to be afraid? Why do we have to get treated like that? Why do we have to be fearful of our lives? They're not doing you like that, but you're the property. You're the property. You're the slave catcher's property. The job changed, the name changed, but the description of the job never changed, you guys. That's why we having such a problem with these race soldiers. But until we police ourselves, like the NFAC is wanting to come out and police us and be our new defense, let them. Let them be our new defense. Are we serious? This dude is going globally. He's trying to get 1 million people out to march. You don't think he can do it? First time he got 1,500 out. The last time they had what, 60? Was it 65? Well, I think it was 6,500, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm just saying within 2 months. Okay, so if he did that in 2 months and got 6,500 out, that's a lot. That's a lot for 2 months. So just think: is it time? Is this the time when it's time for us to rise? Are you guys getting your practicing your Second Amendment? Are you guys getting your weapons? Are you guys thinking about your future? Are you guys getting your extra food? Are you guys? I mean, this is stuff, because things are changing right in front of our faces, and we don't even recognize what's really going on. Things are happening right in front of our eyes, and we are not realizing that change is happening. I'm serious. What if somebody came to you and said, okay, in order for you to go back to work, you got to take this vaccine, Are you going to be ready for that? Are you prepared to say no? You got to be thinking about this, because you know it's coming. We know it's coming, right? Let's not be blinded. They're not getting let me just tell you why. Okay. They got our kids going back to school. They said, I seen one report said 92,000. I don't believe half of these reports, but I'm just, even if that's true, let's just go there. Even if it's true, do you not know that they are making our children sick so that they can activate that vaccine? So if a lot of children are sick, listen to me. If a lot of children are sick, what are parents going to do to get their children well? They're going to rush them to get them vaccines, aren't they? People, they're not dumb. They know what they're doing. They know. And if your child is sick, you come home and they're around you, guess what? The whole family could be contagious. They know what they're doing. They're trying to force this vaccine. They know what they're doing. Wow, really? Strange fruit. I'm sorry. I got quiet because I was reading the comment. But you know what? Good. Maybe that'll make her change some things, because she has the power to change, to make some laws. And what really bothers me is when we get in these positions and we are so sold out for our enemies that we can't even think about doing anything for uh our own. Just like the mayor, I told you about the attorney general in in Louisville. His He's married to Mitch McConnell, Mitch whoever the man, Mitch, the little the senator person. Okay, he's married to either her daughter or his granddaughter. I think it's his daughter. He's married to his daughter. Okay, so just figure that out. He's black, married to Mitch McConnell's daughter. He can't do anything for you guys, honey, because if he do, he gonna piss daddy-in-law off, and then guess what? His daddy-in-law is gonna make it really hard for him, and he's not gonna be able to move up in wherever he's trying to go, because I'm sure he's promised to move up somewhere if you obey daddy, if you obey daddy-in-law. Okay, you be a good little Negro and you do what I ask you to do, and we'll move you up. But one thing is, not you're not going to help them Negroes over there. I'm just saying, it's things that we do and we don't think about, just like this just like this Francis Willis, who just took over Paul Howard's job, the DA of Georgia. she's not going to like what's getting ready to happen, because she's not going to be able to breathe without them looking at her and say, okay, we will need you to do this, we need you to do this, you need to. I mean, you got to be tired of that. Yes, yes, I do believe that. Yes, they are trying to make, yes, Joshua, yes, they are trying to make people sick. Yeah, and they're going to do it if you send your child out, because I think they said at one time that you had to sign some kind of a waiver, okay, in order to send your child to school. But you have to understand what we are up against. I'm telling you, this thing right here, things are happening. This cashless society is happening right in front of your face. That's why they say you can only use your cards. Okay. Why is that? You can only use your cards, or you have to have exact change. They're not giving you any change back, because they're getting ready to go to gold and silver, even in the US, and it's gonna happen globally. That's why I was talking about, how do we recession proof Africa? How do we recession proof Africa? That's the question we need to be thinking about, because Africa has to be thinking 10 years down the line. And I don't think they're thinking 10 years down the line. We have to be doing that right now. Okay. So it's time for us to really get serious about some things. I want to talk about now this right here really, 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 whoo, I'm gonna take a breath, because I'm gonna drink some water, because I don't want to start hollering, because I get upset when we talk about these entertainers. Okay, let me drink. Hold on. Okay, I'm trying to keep calm, y'all. Cardi B. Why are we so proud to be called hoes? I don't know if I have seen this in any other culture but Black culture. I don't. I'm really not feeling her right now. She already said she's not Black, right? Okay. Why are we so proud to call ourselves whores? She made a whole video, and this video, little girls are gonna be watching it. And it's not just her; it's entertainers. Period. Some of the videos and some of the music that I've heard is like, I have to do this. I don't want to ride in my car, get out of my car, and walk with my ears plugged. I'm serious. It's not music that I want to sing. It's like, oh my God, I don't want my granddaughters walking behind me singing, I'm going, She was singing the song one day, and I looked at her and I was like, I mean, every part, but the song, it was like bleeping out the cuss word. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I mean, I was like, what are you listening to? I don't even know. It was somebody's song. I don't. It might have been one of Cardi's. And I said, I think it was. And I told her, that is not somebody we're gonna look up to. That is not somebody that you being 11 is going to look up to. And I just told her, hoes, you don't look up to hoes. You don't look up to people that's making money, sleeping around and being loose. I'm just saying, you have to have some kind of standard. You have to keep your standards up. Seriously, what are you going to track to yourself? No, we have to start. Yes, we have to start. We have to start somewhere, family. We have to start now educating our children, laying down the code of behavior, laying down what is expected, laying down what's allowed and what's not, laying down, like, I remember my daughters were when they were coming up, BET was really super big, and this was when Snoop Dogg, okay, and that thing right there was terrible. I wouldn't let my kids listen to none of his music. He had women up there, and they had the little coochie shorts on. I mean, I don't know, were they shorts or panties? I don't know what. It looked like panties to me. I don't know. Coochie shorts or panties, whatever. But I wouldn't let them watch it. I said, no, BET is off limits in my house. Um, I'm serious. You are not going to watch BET. And they was calling women bees and hoes. And I mean, why would I let my daughters watch that? It was disrespectful then. It's even more disrespectful now. I mean, F you, da, da, da. I'm like, what? Who? Why is it okay? And why have we as Black parents not rose up about this? When are we going to rise up? When are we going to rise up about the music, the entertainment, what the pictures, even the movies that we see on TV? I mean, they got, I mean, if it's a Black movie, it's drugs, hoes, pimps, um sexual money. I mean, it's just, you are just glamorizing everything negative, and we just look at it like Empire. I couldn't stand that show, Empire, and it's a few housewives, and it was a few of them that was on 50 Cent. What was 50 Cent's movie? I don't even remember that one. Um I don't even remember it. But I'm telling you, some of these movies, some of these shows was terrible. I would not. I don't watch a lot of TV now, and I didn't then, but and I really don't now because I don't like what you're representing. Even Tyler Perry. I remember one time Tyler Perry, his first movie was about the girl whose her daughter, her sister was getting married. Wait a minute, was that the first one? No, the first one was, yeah, it was the first one, about the sister that was getting married, and Blair Underwood was in it, and she was being abused, and the other sister had been abused by the mom, and the mom treated her bad. You okay, Power, but that wasn't yeah, but that's the other one, Power. Yes. So what was the other one? I said it was Power and Empire. Those two shows, I cannot stand those shows. I will not let my granddaughter, I will not let anybody that I know watch those movies because I think it's very degrading. And I think that I remember the Huxtables and Bill Cosby. Now why can't we show shows where we're a family and we have kids and we have they're having a future and they're going to school, they're going to college. Why can't we stick to something like that? Why do we all? Because what you portray is what you're going to see, the culture, the flow of the culture. So we portraying, and look at what's attached to the music. You have to understand what's attached to the music. It's a lot of crazy stuff attached to music. Music can change your mindset. Music can change your atmosphere. Music can change your spiritual, which way, how you're feeling, your emotions. Music, if it's sexual music, remember sexual healing, all this. You can change your mood into being sexual. You can change your mood into being fighters. You can change your mood. And the music has a lot to do with your spirit, your soul. It connects to your spirit, man. And Black folk are very musical. We're very the music. The beat. We can go get with the beat, and we can just move. And the music it's almost like it's attached to us. So whatever that music is displaying through the music is our attitudes. And watch people. You listening to some gangster rap, and you thugging out, and you getting high, and you drinking, and you may do anything. Yes, yes, they did. Yes, they won't even play any of they won't play any of that. But guess what? They'll still play those pedophile movies. They'll still play the people that didn't pedophile folk. They still play his stuff. Harvey Weinstein have a lot of movies that he was behind, right? But they still playing his stuff, right? Okay. My thing is, you have to understand what's really going on with that. Okay, that's some crazy stuff right there. But I just want Black people to understand what's important right now. We have a lot of stuff that's going on that we should be paying a lot of attention to. As far as this voting locally, that is another thing we need to do. If you're not going to get up and go to Africa, if that's not your plan, then you need to be making it safe here, right here. Your first priority should be getting some Black folk, B1 people in office that's going to have your back, and you give them a list, and they going after that list. And I'm gonna tell you what, I would be giving incentives on Black people creating education, creating schools for Black people. I'm just serious. That's just what I would do as the mayor. I would get me some money. Okay, we would have to have some funds coming in, and I would allocate them to Black education. It is time for our schools to really start teaching, for us to start teaching our own. Because as long as we are teaching them the Western way, as long as they're learning the Western way, as long as they're learning the white supremacy way, nothing is going to change for us as long as we're learning their ways, because they have programmed us for so long, for over 400 years plus. They brainwashed us and they trained us to think a certain way. The white supremacy is there, the system is there, everything has been set up step by step by step. And that was the real reason why they wanted us to come back under them, because they had more control then. Because when we were by ourselves, they had no control, and we were getting too far ahead of them. So they said, hold on. Martin Luther King was really used. He was used by the government He was used by the government to bring us aboard, to bring us over, to bring us back up under our enemies so that they can have control over us. Because I'm gonna tell you what, if we hadn't stopped right there, because Martin Luther King got free, right? And he stopped. We got to ride the bus, we got to ride on the front of the bus. And do you not know right now, black folk go to the back of the bus? When I used to drive, black folk go to the back of the bus. But my thing is, instead of us not just being able to ride the bus, he should have been showing us how to buy bus companies, okay, how to own the buses, how to own the taxis, how to own our homes, how to own our land. Okay, we didn't talk about any financial wealth. We didn't talk about the wealth. We didn't talk about owning properties. We didn't talk about owning our own businesses. We talked and we looked about owning and working for other people and renting their raggedy darn houses that they had in the black ghettos that they didn't fix up. White folk didn't fix up. They had those houses they didn't fix up. It wasn't our houses. Those houses weren't fixed up, and these different businesses would come into our areas and they will move out, take the money with them, and created ghettos. And they will redline our neighborhoods so we couldn't even get loans in order to fix up our own properties. And redlining is going on even still today. They have a program here where I live, and the area they'll give you like $2,500 or 25,000. I'm sorry, they give you 25,000, but you have to move into an area where it's like the rats and the roaches don't even want to live there. I'm just saying, I'm not moving there. Why I have to live there? No. But my thing is, why is it that you're only offering for that area? And that's what I asked them when I said, why is that the only area that you're offering? I mean, if it's 25,000, it's 25,000. I should be able to go anywhere and use it. You're trying to get me to live in the hood. I mean, this was past the hood. Okay, it wasn't even the hood. They had prostitution down there and everything. I'm not going to live down there. I'm just saying, I love my people, but I'm not moving into. I'm not going to put myself in that atmosphere. I'm not going to put myself in danger. You understand what I'm saying? But my thing is, um, we have to understand what's going on, and we have to be focused, you guys. But we're just allowing anything and everything. The music is jacked up, the TV is jacked up. We underway. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff, and we're not even trying to be free. What is it that we need to do in order to be free? What is it that we're going to have to do? We have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere. And my thing is, if we don't start somewhere, you guys, we're gonna lose it. We can't lose it. It's time for us to win at something. It's time for us to win. So who's willing, who's ready? And who's ready to start running for some of these offices? Strange, you say you on it, huh? All right, good. Yes, yes, it's time for us to be on it. Yes, Joshua, it feels like we need to have our own education and our own culture. You're right, we do. You do. You're right. We need our own everything because right now, it's really it's sad because we don't think that we're worthy to do anything. We don't think that we're worthy to have our own. We don't think that we're worthy enough to, just like I look at some of these jobs and I look at that, when we have our own companies and how we won't even support our own companies and how on these jobs you have managers and some of these managers don't know what the heck they doing. They only have these manager jobs because they're white. And that's just really what it is. If you white, you can apply for any job. And where I live is just really, I used to live in the area in a city, and I relocated to another area. And where I came from, it was diverse. You know what I'm saying? Black folk was in management, and and we was moving. I mean, we were shaking and moving. But then I moved more to the south, and I see more of where more whites are in management. And it's almost like it's still stuck in wherever, way back in the 1900s, where they don't believe black folk can lead, black folk can't be managers. That's just they won't say it, but that's just the stipulation. That's what you feel because you don't see very many of us that's even motivated to become managers. And that's the sad part about it. That's the part that I'm talking about. That's really blowing my mind because a lot of us don't even go after those positions, and I'm not understanding why. Because I think we're more qualified. I think we're more qualified to do the job. So why aren't we doing it? You know, so we have to, like you're right, Jay. Schools are most important. Okay, schools are most important because we should be thinking, how are we right now doing this reset? How are we going to get back? How are we going to step into our positions? Because right now, this is our time to step into our positions of leadership. How are we going to do that if we don't know that this is a reset? A lot of black folks still waiting to go back to their jobs. I'm like, oh my God, you guys, now is a time. If you see a service that needs to be done, if you see any kind of service that needs to be done, this time for you to develop it, because if that's your gift, he said, Yah said, your gifts will make room for you. And I do believe that. And if your gift is leadership, then it's time for you to run for some of these offices. It's time for you to have your own company, develop your own software, develop your own company, develop your own internet, develop your own, because you have to understand, you already know that we developed a lot of stuff in America anyway. We were inventors, and we still have that gift in us now. You have to understand that. So I just want us, and even Jay, you have your own school. Oh, wow. I think, okay. But my thing is, we have to understand that it's time to teach our children. But I want us to get to the point where we're teaching our children our history, because you know what, I've seen a lot of children that are homeschooling. Okay, a lot of white women that are homeschooling, but guess what? Oh, they have a lot of programs, I should say, and they're white based homeschooling. I don't want, we can stay in the regular schools for that. I want us, for me, I think we should be teaching our children our culture, our education. We have got to get out of the fact of thinking that white is better. And that is part of the white supremacy that we face. That we think, oh, their education is better, their money is better, their ice is colder than our ice, their area to live is better than our area. But guess what? Is it really safe for you? It might be safe for them, but is it really safe for you? A lot of times we think it's safe, but it's not. Because what about that lady that moved? She was, remember the shooting in the Kroger's? I think it was a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. The white guy came. He first left a church. He first went to the church, and there were children in the church, and the children had just left. The last child, it was, they like a half an hour before he came, it was a bunch of children in the church, and they had just left. Okay. He came to the door. The door was locked, thank God. And he went to the Kroger's. And I think he shot one in the parking lot and shot one in the store. And the grandma that he shot in the store, she had just moved in that area. And her daughter said she actually moved because she thought it was safer. Is it really safer for us to live around there? To live around them? It's not always safe for us to live around them, you guys. I don't know. I don't understand why we think that because we move in a white neighborhood that is safe for us. Living around a bunch of white folk has never been safe for us. Okay, I'm just saying. When we living around our own and we're amongst our own, once we get on code and once we understand who we are and whose we are and understand our culture, I guarantee you things would totally change. The atmosphere, the environment, the mindset, how we treat each other would change, because you have to understand, when white folk was over us in slavery, they took away from us the code of behavior. Okay, how to respect each other, how to get along, how to look out for each other, how to protect each other, how to support each other. We don't have that. We don't have any of that, right? Separation, yes, Jay, is key. That is the only way. Put that in there. Separation is the only way. And until we totally separate from them, we're going to still be stuck in this rut. We're going to still have the coons, because that's where the coons came from, because the coons have been trained generationally. Because I guarantee you, some coons have been generationally. Their mamas were coon, their daddies was coon, and now the kids coon, and then the grandkids gonna be coons. The only way we're gonna save them is to get them away from them, or you know what, I believe in the background, the back alley. When you don't know how to act, and say for instance in Africa, how the coups used to happen, and those people used to rise up. My thinking was, let one rise up, Joshua, and we take him to the back. We take him out to the lions, and we let the lions eat him and the family. And then I guarantee you, nobody else will rise up again. And I'm serious, like the Yakuts be rising up. They get paid to rise up. Okay, you rise up if you want to. We're gonna take you outside to the back to the alligators over there, and we're gonna let the zebras and the alligators and the monkey, the whoever, the tigers handle you. Okay, because you're not gonna sit up here and sell out when we're trying to get ahead. And every time we try to get ahead, you're gonna sell us out and allow the enemy to use you against your own. With those type people, I'm just I'm just I just believe they need back alley justice. I'm just saying, jungle justice. How about that? It's time for us to be serious about each other and start taking each other and looking out for one another. And that's what was taken away from us. And that's what I think that's where we need to start with the education. And these are elephants in the room that I'm talking about. Why are we continuously allowing the elephants to stay in the room? You got this big old space, and you squished up by things that should have been taken care of. And we should be working on stuff now. We're still not working on what we need to be working on. We're not working on our education. We're not working on our codes. We're not working on our history. We're not working on our culture. All of that was taken away. It was beaten out of us. We were murdered. You have to understand, when we came from okay, we ran from Israel, we ran into Africa, the west coast of Africa. They brought us over here through the ships, and then well, some of them went to Portugal. Okay, Portugal, they was terrible. Them Portuguese was terrible. The Spaniards, okay, the Spaniards. I won't say Spaniards. They were terrible to the children, to the adults. They killed most of the adults. If you one day wanted to shift you into Christianity, and let's talk a little bit about that. Christianity has been dangerous for Black folk. I'm telling you, it has brainwashed you. It's told you to wait till by and by to get whatever you need. You can live in poverty here. You can live in stress. You can live any, you can live and need and want and poverty and lack and insufficiency of debt. And it's okay because you're gonna get yours and by and by. No, I want mine here and now. You get yours now, I want mine too. But my thing is, we have to begin to understand that Christianity, we were not Christians before we came to this that ship called Jesus family. We were not Christians. We were Torah believers. We were not Christians, and Christianity, we were killed for not worshiping, and then your children was taken away from you, and then they shipped them into, a lot of them went to the Caribbean because that was like a holding place for you to kind of get them straight and ready to be sold into slavery. So the Caribbeans was really harsh. A lot of Black folk died. A lot of slaves died in the Caribbeans because they were so hard on them, because they was butt breaking them, and they was, getting them ready for slavery. So they was doing some of everything to them slaves. The children, they was sleeping. It was just terrible. I just couldn't even imagine, because a lot of them, all you have to do is get one child. You can change up a whole generation. If I have 10 children, I can change up a whole generation. And this is why they are allowing LGBT to adopt our children. This is why they are allowing the white folk to adopt our children. This is why, did you see the little lady Chavez? She's from South Africa and has that little Black boy, and she's dressing him up as a little girl, and it's disgusting. And I wish I could see her. I probably have to go to jail, because I'm telling you, it's disgusting, because this little boy, she got him when he was 3, I think. And that he don't come here wanting to wear no dress. I guess he told, well, she said, he said, I want to wear a dress. And he would fight her every time she wouldn't let him put on the dress. But my thing is, why is a 3-year-old fighting you? Who Why would he even know about a dress? What's going on? Something else happened. It didn't just start up today that you want to wear a dress. So we have to understand, a lot of stuff happened just by us not understanding the bigger picture. And the bigger picture was, she came from South Africa and she adopted that boy. You know what happened? Some stuff with the white folk in South Africa, the Black folk, and that mentality is still there. You got this Black child and you dressing him up as a boy, and somebody else had another Black child from Africa that was dressing him up like a little girl. Who was that? Who was that? Was that it was somebody else that had a child. Now, and it's almost like they're changing spaces. So we have to be very careful, you guys. And it is time for us to let's start noticing the elephant. Let's start a plan. And I love to have the talks, but I'm about action. It's about being about the action, and not yes, Charlotte. Yeah, that's her name. Yes, she had the little boy. Changing out. Yeah, people are trying to adopt and change our ways. Yes, they are. That's the thing about it. And just like the Christianity, okay. We talk about white Jesus. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Caesar Borgia. That ship was called Jesus, okay. And then we went to church, and the whole Bible was changed, and they'd rewritten everything. And the worship day was Saturday instead of Sunday. Now they got you going on Sunday. They told you couldn't have pork, and now they fed you pork. They gave you the chitlins, the pookie hole of the pig, and now you eat that and call it a gourmet meal. Everything, as you notice, that we weren't, because they know who we were. Everything, yes. Sandra Bullock was the other one. Yeah. And Madonna. Yep. They got those black children, and they are really, and Madonna was wild anyway. But they are, but so in slavery, everything that we weren't supposed to eat, everything we weren't supposed to do, and even now, you have to understand who was behind slavery, who's behind the entertainment, who's behind everything. The Jews are. Okay, let's get it straight now. The Jews financed slavery, and they supported the, they supplied the boats and they supplied the money. Okay, this is why Hitler was murdering them, because of the fact he said that they were perverting his land. That's why Hitler was killing, and I really don't believe $6 million. I think something like 3 million. I don't think it was 6 million. They kind of fudged that a little bit, but but you have to understand now. They are behind the music, and they think the more perverted it is, the faster God will come back. Their God will come back, and you know who their God is because they believe in the Talmud. Okay, the Jews, who are called serpent people, believe in the Talmud, and they are from Khazarian, and they're not from Israel. That's not even the real place. That's not even, and people don't understand that. You got a wall there that they erected because he said the wall, it be not one brick left standing, right? So where'd that wall come from? They made that wall. So how do we get a wall? Okay. Even the Bible supports slavery, but not to the point where the abuse, because in Joel, it talks about that in Joel 3, the whole chapter of Joel said, because you treated my jewels the way you treated them, exactly what happened to you is going to happen. Exactly what happened you did to them, they're going to do to you. That's what that, but it supported slavery, but it didn't support slavery to the point where they overdid it. Okay. And it said that he said, because you overdid, it's going to happen to you. So let's see if it happens to them double. Are they going to be able to handle it? Okay, because it talks about slavery, but it didn't talk to because after 7 years you're supposed to let the person go. Read that one. After 7 years in the Bible, that slave was supposed to go free. That debt should have been wiped out, and that person should have been free. Okay, they did that with the come on, help me out. They did that with the come on, help me, strange fruit. They did that with the it wasn't the slave people. Who was it? Come on, put it in the comments. Indigents. Okay, they did that with them. Okay, but they didn't do that with black folk. If you were indigent, you came over here, they gave you what? You were up under them for 7 years, and after 7 years you were released. Okay, so yeah, slavery was in the Bible, but it wasn't the way it should have never been done the way they alligated, they sold our babies, they cut the babies out of my stomach, they fed the babies to alligators. Your 2 year old, you wake up, your 6 month old or your 6 week old baby is on the alligator string down there, he feeding the alligators. They would take our skin off and make shoes out of them, belts out of our skin. I mean, there was some horrible things. They didn't they didn't tell you that in Africa, what they was doing to black folk over here. They was raping, they was having boys sleep with their moms, and they was having the man, and he was sleeping with everybody, and he was making babies all over everybody was kin on the little land, and then kin folks sleep with each other. It was a mess. They had a mess, and it was all about slavery. It's all about sex. That's the disgusting part about it. That's the disgusting part about it. But let's talk about the little Christianity a little bit. Let's get on that. But we have to understand now. It's time for us to wake up. Now we've been asleep long enough, family, and I know we still may have some Christians on here, but it's time for you to wake up, smell the carpet. This reset is for us. This reset. And haven't you seen some pastors going back to church anyway? And a whole church, 40 people got sick. Okay. And a couple pastors died. Okay. Why do you think that is? If Caesar Borgia is so much stronger than Joshua, and you have to understand, Jesus, the letter J just came into the alphabet 400 years ago. 400 years ago, the letter J came into alphabet. What was Jesus called before he was called Jesus? What was he called before the letter J was actually put into the alphabet? He was called Yahshua, Yahuda. People don't understand that. One of my husband has a guy he worked with, and he asked him, he's from, I think the guy was from Pakistan or something. He asked him, he said, I know Yahshua, I know you Yahuda. Who is Jesus? And my husband looked at him like, you don't know who Jesus is? He said, no, he's not. We don't know who's Jesus. We hear people saying it, but who's Jesus? The guy, he did, and he's a Muslim. But in this is American thing, and that's what my husband told me. It's an American thing. It's an American word. It was a slave ship, and then he was made into Caesar Borgia. Look him up. The Caesar Borgia was real, and that is the man that Leonardo da Vinci painted uh, to look like Jesus, because it was the son of a pope, and because the Pope think he's God, he called him the Son of God. Okay, so he named him Jesus. Okay, and he had blonde hair and blue eyes, and he came and painted the picture and called Caesar Borgia Jesus. Okay, and the Pope knew about it, and the Pope allowed him to put that look across the churches across the world. And if you go in some of these churches today, you'll see who on the wall? White Caesar Borgia. But guess what's attached to it? Let's not stop there. What's attached to the Roman Catholic Church? Pedophilia and homosexuality, right? So guess what? All the churches comes out of Rome, right? You got Lutheran, Methodist, Baptist, all of it's coming from Rome. And what's at the top? Pedophilia, right? So you got pedophilia that's at the top, and you got homosexuality, pedophilia, say all of this sexual sin connected to the head. So what's at the head gonna trickle down to the tail, right? That's why you got a whole lot of sexual sin running around in these Christian churches, okay? That Caesar Borgia is over, because it's a demon's den. People have to understand that's why these churches are no power. Because what's it connected to? You can't have power if you connected to the devil. You can't have power. Well, not the right power. I'm just saying. Okay, that spirituality stuff, that's totally different. I don't get into that. I don't understand a lot of that, but I'm just going by what I know. Okay, but you have to understand what's it all connected to, family. But I'm gonna tell you what, you got to be free of that. You got to really, it is time for your mind to be free and loose from all that demonic stuff. People don't even understand that that's what it's connected to. And people look at you and go, oh my God, you're talking, you're blaspheming. No, it's not. You got to read. You have so many different books that they are not even connected to the Bible. The book of Enoch, the Sefer, it's a whole lot of books, you guys. Y'all got to, you got to get in some of the apocrypha. Okay, the Sefer and apocrypha, you can start with that. And then the book of Enoch, which is, those are books that's connected. Some of those books that were taken out of the Bible. And because a lot of that, the book of Enoch especially talked about the nymphs, talked about this is where a lot of that Egyptian worship coming in at. Okay, the demons, the Nephilims, and all of that is explained in the book of Enoch. So that's why they took it out of the Bible, because you'll understand in the beginning what really happened, and the fall of the Satan and the angels and the Nephilims, and how they came down to the earth and they had sex with the women, and how these giant babies were born. I'm just saying, it's real. You have to do your research and understand. It's not just something that we're talking about. Oh, check my audio. Is it not good? Okay, it's okay now. Okay, thank you. I missed that one. Okay, how are we doing now? Is it good? We good? Okay, let me know. Thank you. Appreciate it. But we have to understand that it's time for us to really understand a lot of what we were taught here in America. It was lies. Um, yes, Jay, they did. They kept our body parts as souvenirs. Yeah. It was a lot that was done in the biblical in those times that was totally not cool. That Black folk suffered. I mean, and we suffered. And you have to understand, uh, and we still going through it today. We still going through the trauma today. And this is why you see, and people look at Black folk and they have so much to say. And I say, well, guess what? If you went through 400 years of trauma and and still going through a lot of hell even now, I'm trying to say, would you have come out better? Would you? And I look at other people, when I see people going through hardship, I try to understand. If I see a woman and she's, more very a child that's really super promiscuous, or if I see a woman that's gay, or if I see a man that's gay, or I try to understand what's going on with him, because we don't understand each other's childhood. We have a lot of trauma and trauma in our DNA, okay, that we've passed down from generation to generation. And once you've gone through hell with a group of people, and right now we are so at the point right now. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but we are walking in so much fear of them, and it's fear. If we fight, we go to jail. If we don't fight, we die. So what do we do? Do we fight? If you fight, you die. If you don't fight, you die. So my thinking my thinking right now, if we fight, at least we fight changing our situation. But if we don't fight, we die just punking out. Why? if I'm going out, I'm going out with a bang. You ain't gonna just, that Dylan Roof, that 9 people in the church, honey. I would have been looking at that some folks, and I'd have been like, "What we gonna do? We need to do. You need to move, and we gonna count to 3, and we gonna get up here. And I don't care. Somebody may have to die, but all 9 of us ain't dying. I'm just saying, somebody may have to take it for the team, but we're gonna make this thing happen. I'm serious. He would have been taking it for the team because you shouldn't have came up in here. And we'd have whipped his butt so bad because he said the reason he came in the church in the first place is because he knew they weren't going to do anything. And that's why Amber Geiger didn't get a lot of time. That was at Botham Jean. Remember the Botham Jean, the boy who was hugging on Amber Geiger and said, "Oh, can I hug my brother's killer?" Yeah, he didn't kill your brother, and you didn't got this in your head that God told you to forgive your enemy. And so you forgiving your enemy, you hugging your enemy, and that's not who he was talking about. He was talking about Israel. He was talking about your brother. He was talking about your black Israel, which is your brother. He's not talking about the man-made demons, okay? Them demons' children. I'm just saying. That's not who he's talking about. He said, you love your brother, and I forgive my brother, not somebody that just blew uh my son's head off. That I'm gonna go up to them and I'm gonna love on them like they didn't do nothing. That's not what he meant. That don't even sound right. What kind of God is that? It's gonna tell you have to love somebody that just blew your brains out, or he did just cut your baby out your stomach, and you sitting up there paralyzed. You laying up in the hospital, can't move. You can just move your eyes, but I forgive you. What in the world? Who does that? Where they do that at? I'm just saying. Let me read some of these comments. Septia, welcome, welcome, welcome. Black people and Black culture was never accepted, has never accepted in this country. And this is not even their country. That's right. There has been a lockout on us since we were kidnapped. Yep, brother. Yep, exactly. Yep. Not compared to your own people enslaves you. They still have no power. You know what? I look at that also, and because I think Africa, and I would just, and this is my own opinion. Don't get offended or affected, you guys, because this is my opinion, and I could be wrong. Put me in the comments. You can put it in the comments. I do believe that Africa, and I believe Black folk around culturally, um, and it's the punishment because of. And I'm not going. And you know what? One of my friends, he was an African, and he told me he works with me, and him and I talk all the time. He said that someone his gurus, and you guys know guru. I don't know anything about guru, but he said his guru told him that Black people were cursed and we were demon children. We were the devil's children. That's what he said. Now that his guru said, and I said, "Well, is your guru Black or white?" And he said, "Oh, he's an Indian." I said, "Well, you need to tell him your Indian guru that he's the devil's child, because that's who the devil children are." You have to understand, when white folk tell you stuff, and I do consider him white if he has that mentality, which is say a white supremacy mindset, then I do believe that he is the devil. They are the devil's children. So no, you're not gonna let the devil tell you who you are and who you're not. No, you are of the devil. The devil is your father. So everything that they say that comes out of their mouth is usually about them. They try to put it on us. They try to call us porch monkeys when they grow tails. They try to call us a whole lot of other stuff, say a whole lot of other stuff about us, but in fact, they're talking about themselves. So every time they talk about or try to accuse us of something, they're talking about themselves. And that's how I look at it. I just look at them and say, you ain't doing nothing but talk about yourself. If nothing they say offends me or affects me, honey, and I mean nothing, because I know who their father is. Seriously. The brother about the Dean even got an award. Yes, he did, but guess what? They didn't get no money, did they? They didn't get no money, did they, strange fruit? They didn't get one dime. And you know why? Because of, like and share, you guys. I want you to like and share the video so that we can get it out. Okay. But they didn't get one red cent. They didn't get one red cent. And that's the sad part about it, because they thought that, and I don't know if he was thinking that if he did what he did, that was going to get them some money, or I don't know, or what's he even thinking? But I do believe that religion had a lot to do with it, that Christianity has a lot to do with it. And I even grieve now. And I asked something on my Facebook page, and I asked him, I said, if somebody, how is it that we can forgive somebody that just shot and killed your brother, shot him in the head, cold blood. He's sitting in the couch. He's sitting in the living room eating a bowl of ice cream in his underwear, watching the game. And that person, Amber Geiger, came inside of his house, talking about she thought it was. That's just like me going to an apartment and I'm on the second floor. And if I don't have a red mat outside my house, I'm gonna look and be like, "Oh, that ain't my house. That ain't my door." I mean, because I know sometimes we go to the wrong car. Haven't you guys did that? Walked up to the wrong car. You have another truck that's near yours, and you be like, Oh, and you go up to the wrong truck. I've done that, but then something clicks and be like, oh, this ain't mine. You know, you looking in the window and you be like, oh, that looks different. You're gonna know it's not yours. So for her to be that off focus, either she was drunk or high, or just, because I think she was sex texting or texting sexing or whatever, or she was making up a date. I think she was trying to go on a date or something. But my thing is, being a police officer, you should have been more focused. You're always supposed to be aware, right? You're never supposed to be off focus. You're always supposed to be looking around. How could you, a police officer, go to the wrong house and claim it's yours? And you know that when you walk in the front door, if you got a dog, your dog's not barking. Or if you got a piece of furniture at the front door and that piece of furniture is not there at the front door, you're going, I mean, something had to look, something had to look. I mean, if he had the TV on, you left the house, there was no TV on. So, come on. It just really did make a lot of sense. Yes, Christianity made us docile. Yes, it did. And we still docile today. And they know it. And this is why a lot of people, this is why they're doing what they're doing to us, because they know that we're not going to fight back. But some of us won't, I should say that, because some of us will look at you and be like, you come over here with that, it's not going to be a good day. Because I keep telling us right now, you guys, what do you think about practicing your Second Amendment? I do believe that should be something that we should be practicing, because times are tough. I'd rather me fight in court than me be in a morgue somewhere, because somebody was acting stupid, just like that white girl who pulled that gun out on them black girls. My thing is, I rather, they could have been dead. You know what I'm saying? And until, what do you have to do with bullies? With bullies, what do you, white women can't stand to be ignored. Yeah, I know, but what do you do? Um, what do you do? Um, Dang, I forgot my thought. I was finna ask, and I thought start reading what you were saying. Um, Dang, I forgot what I was gonna say about that. It was something about forgiveness and stuff. Um, Dang, it'll come back. It'll come back. I'll be talking so much, it'll come back. But yeah, they do. They can't stand to be ignored. Yeah, I mean, I ignore them at work, and they be trying. I mean, it could be two of us at work in the corner talking, and the little one girl will come up there and she be, "What y'all talking about?" And I look at her and be, "Excuse me, her and I talking," like that. And I think they know me right now. They know me kind of like at work, so they don't try that, not right now. But they used to. They tried until I would be like, hello, you're gonna excuse yourself right now, But yeah. So, oh, I'm sorry, you guys. Uh-oh, I didn't knock anything off. Okay, I'm back. Let me see. I wanted to mention one more thing. You know what? And I heard somebody ask this before, and they said, what is it going to take for us to be free? What is it going to take for us? How do we start the process of being free? How do we get to the place um, where our mindset is going to change and we're not going to um, be so sold out to helping other people more so? Because if you would look at it, most of our civil rights leaders, like John Lewis, Elijah Cummings, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Booker, Kamala, a lot of them have, and all of the Black Caucus, most of them have come from different countries. And they don't have that sold out mentality to us. They are more sold out to the white folk. Okay. And that to me speaks volumes, because I think that before that type of person comes to this country, I think they're vetted. They're kind of, looked at to see, okay, where's your mind frame? Because I don't think they're going to let another Marcus Garvey, okay, Marcus Garvey, I don't think they'll let another one of him come to this country. Or Patrice Lumumba. What was his name? Patrice Lumumba. What, you remember Patrice, the guy, one of the guys in Africa? He was a civil rights person. I mean, he was one of them that wanted to change, and he was trying to change Africa, and ended up dying trying. But they're, I don't think they're going to, they're pretty much watching them more to make sure that they have like a sold out mentality to white folk. And what they do, they said what they do is take the best of a black person, and this is how they make coons out of them. They take the smartest and the best out of the black person, and the one that's really, that can really make change. If they leave them among us, they know that they will be the one that would be the white savior, the Jesus, the black savior for us. So what they do, they take them out of our away from us, and they train them up and they mold them and make them, and they teach them how to think like them. They teach them how to talk like them, and then they pay them, okay, and then they sit them back into society, into the midst of us, and they use them because we're not going to look for them to be different. We're not going to look for them to cause us damage. We're not going to look for them to try to hurt us because they look like us, right? We've not gotten there yet, but we should be there because it's been going on for so long. So they'll leave that person in the midst of us, and they'll use that person. So when we begin to rise up a little bit, Al Sharpton, for instance, he'll come and say, "Hey, you guys, calm down. We're gonna do this, that, and the other. Welcome, Pan African. Welcome." Yes, Patrice. Yes. Okay. Okay. Lumumba. Okay, there you go. I was trying to say that a little earlier. Yeah, he was awesome. That dude was awesome. He was something. He was trying to make a difference. But yeah, so they use a black person, for instance, and that has a lot of, a lot of education, and they'll use that person against us. Okay, but we will never know that that person is being used against us. Okay, we'll think that that person is just, we'll hear that he sounds a little different, like Kanye West. I don't know if he's being paid or if he's there to divide the votes up. I don't know what's going on with Kanye West, but I think they have used him to, that's he's going to try. They're going to try to use him to split the vote, the black vote. I do believe that because a lot of black people will vote for Kanye West, even though we know he's a little wacky. Just like I think Joe Biden is a little wacky. Okay, I think he got Alzheimer's, but I think they're going to use Kanye West to divide the black vote and let Trump get back in. That's what I'm thinking because they're not gonna, I don't see. Um, I just believe that a lot of black people will vote for Kanye West. Okay, and he's not ready to be in anybody's office. Yes, yes, he is an idol. Yes, he is. He is. He is. But my thing is how they use us, and I don't think we have not gotten it to. We're not recognizing when one of us are coons or when one of us is being used against us, because I do believe that that happened with MLK. I believe that he was there to distract us, and I believe because it just didn't make no sense how he said, "Okay, you guys do leave your 200 cities and leave your homes and leave this and that and the other, and come over here and do this." I just come back under your enemy when you had been up under them in slavery, and then you turn around and came back under them. That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense. I don't understand. Let me see. Strikes back haven't arrived yet. What do you mean by that, Joshua? Yes, MLK and Malcolm. Okay, but I really do believe that it's time for us to really see some things that we need to work on, and how, and kind of put a list together of what steps, what's good, what should we be working on first in order to be free. Okay, because it's time. We have the elephants in the room. We've already discussed some of the elephants in the room, and these are serious problems. So why is it that black folk, we just continue, doing the same thing over and over? We continue riding that same boat, and we don't ever get off, and we're just gonna stay there until what, white folk push you off. I don't understand what is the holdup. I mean, we can see, I can see, you can see, Randy can see, Strange True, Septia, we can see what needs to happen. So why aren't we doing it? Why aren't they doing it? Why are we continuously still doing the same stuff that hasn't worked? Why are we voting? And we know that has never worked. I didn't see one law. Nobody put in the comments one law that Obama wrote or put out there that was vetoed, or one law that was put in action for black people, just for black people. I didn't see one law that he even attempted to write. I didn't see one that was attempted to be written and he vetoed it or he put it out there, or but I see some laws, some changes for the LGBT and the immigrants. I see the Asians got their money. The Indians got their 3.3 million. I'm just saying, but black folks still didn't get reparations. Then we asked for it. And then he said, "Oh, that's not how America works." And then when Michael Brown, remember Michael Brown died on Obama's watch. Trayvon Martin died on Obama's watch. What did he say? He scolded us because we were rising up. And Al Sharpton came. Remember that? Al Sharpton came and said, "Y'all calm down. Let's handle this a different way," and blah, 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 blah. But black folk was rising up. But we still was trusting Al Sharpton. And and even John Lewis, these dudes were in Elijah Cumming. They were in the position to make laws for us to change some things, but never did. Obama was in the position that changed. He was able. He should have been. He should have changed some things for us, but he didn't. And somebody said, "Oh, they had their foot on his neck," and I said, "No, Obama, just like Trump, he made things happen." I'm not saying he's good for black people. I'm not saying it. Don't get it twisted. But what I am saying that Obama could have done something. Obama could have did something. I mean, wrote one law, but instead he wrote an executive order for Blue Lives Matter. Did you guys know that? Obama wrote an executive order for Blue Lives Matter when Michael Brown had gotten murdered. He wrote that law then. A Blue Lives Matter, a Blue Lives Matter executive order. Okay, which is sad because you had your own dying, and even as far as the houses, most black folk went into a lot of foreclosures then about these bad loans that was given to black people by these predatory loans. What did he do to save? What did he do to help black folk out when those homes were being taken away? Nothing. He gave to the businesses, the white businesses, but he did absolutely nothing for black owned businesses or black folk either. So we have to understand, we have to know that people that look like us don't mean us any good sometimes. We have to start recognizing the coons. We have to start recognizing those elephants that's in the room that's big as I don't know what. We could see, and they're not agreeing, and they're not, they're not gonna put out for us, but they putting out for white folk. We have to start making, saying something. We have to, if we have to just stand up and point them out and say, "Hey, we see what you're doing. We see blah, blah, blah," and call it out. We have to start calling some of this stuff out, bringing attention to the coons, bringing attention to people that look like us, but don't have a heart after us. Because it's time for us to watch out for us. Okay, because it's time for us to start doing for us, but we're waiting for other people to do for us. Let me see what you're saying, Brandon. Yes, he sure could. Yep, he could. He could have signed in. Yep. Trump is the best president of black people. Facts over feeling. Ah, Terrence, stop having it. He did sell us out. Who had mad love for him? Okay. Oh boy. Oh man. Let me see. Oh, you disagree with me on MLK? Why? Tell me why you disagree. Because guess what? If it wasn't for him, we'd have still been separate but equal. Because I'm gonna tell you what, if we would have had our own schools and kept our own schools, because guess what? When we came to them and we said, "Hey, we want to come to your schools," they told us, "You can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't join this, you can't join this club." We had our own, we were separate anyway. So why do we need to go in their building to be separate? And then they treated us like poop. Why? I wouldn't know where in the world I'd have sent my child up in there. I would have never sent my child. She would not have been the first anybody of anything in a white nothing. I'm gonna tell you what, and you think I would have been at home, a parent at home, and my child would have been out there walking by herself? No, sir. My child wouldn't have been at them schools. I said, "You're gonna stay right over here and learn over here," because guess what? They had black teachers over there. Because guess what? When they integrated, black teachers lost their jobs. We lost everything. We lost everything. We lost our homes. We lost land. We lost hospitals. We lost buses. We had taxis. We had what our own Negro League. We lost everything just because their ice. We thought their ice was colder than ours. So we lost everything. That was crazy. Why in the world why was that so important for us to taste their ice? Make your own ice. Even now, why do we have to stay and taste their ice? I seen a story where and I don't know, it was in Africa that happened. The Chinese, I think about this up before. The Chinese had their own business, and a black African had his business. And I think because of COVID, the African guy had to close at a certain time, but the Chinese guy could stay open. But I've seen a lot of Africans going in, swarming in on the Chinese business, and the black guy, his business was closed, so he wasn't making no money. But my thing is, we should have sat home. I'd have been like, "Well, we're gonna sit home." Nobody's going to them Chinese because we're going to run them up out of here. We're going to support our own. And this is where we need to be right now. We are supposed to be so celebrating our own, starting our own. This is the time that it's our reset. It's our reset right now. Why are we not coming up with our own companies? Why are we not coming up with our own businesses? Why are we not coming up with our own anything? This is time for us, and Yahshua is waiting on us to step out, and he'll bless it. I'm telling you, if you see a service that's needed now, go ahead and step out and form it. Because why aren't you trying group economics? Group economics, we bring our finances together. Just like Brandon, you got business, I got a business, you got 400, I got 500, you got 200, you got 300. We can start right there, and then we can have another person. Okay, we have to understand sometimes we don't have $1,000 laying around the house, but if it takes 3 of us to come up with that $1,000 or 4 of us to come up with that $1,000 to open up our own business, then that's what we need to be doing. Group economics works and Claude Anderson talks about this all the time. Group economics is where it's at for us. And then we should give that person a chance. Don't go in there in that first week or that first month or that first 6 months or even the first year thinking that business is going to be top notch. Because guess what? They won't give us loans. We have to do this ourselves. We have to pull our monies together in order to have a business in the first place. So don't come in there and if it's not where, just say, for instance, we open a grocery store. If I don't have all of the products that you need, make a list. Every week we'll add a product. Every day every time we make an order, we'll add a product. And eventually it'll be where it needs to be. But guess what, family? We have to start somewhere. Even if we have, like, say, for instance, we have a barber on here, we have a beautician, we have a massage tech, we have a nail tech, we have a pedicure. We have, I'm gonna just say, an eyebrow waxer. Now those are 6 people. Those 6 people get together. Each person come up with maybe $400, $500 if you can. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's $3,000. Okay. At least 1,000 take to put down on the building. You're not going to go and get the most expensive building in the beginning. You're going to get something that you guys can afford, and you guys going to pull your monies together, and you guys going to pay $100, $125 a week, $150 a week to rent that little spot that you're renting, and you put that toward the rent. The first week you should have your rent, you guys. Okay. The first 2 weeks you should really have your rent plus your electric, and then the next 2 weeks is money in your pocket. I'm just saying it's a way for us to do this. We have to be creative. We have to know that it is time for us to move, and we got to move. It's all about time. Time. Yes. We have $1.2 trillion. What are we doing with our money, you guys? I'm gonna tell you where I work now. We had so much stuff coming in because people was just buying. I'm like, where's all this stuff coming from? Because of the simple fact we had that extra money. Instead of black folk with that stimulus check, you know what I see them doing with it? Buying 50-inch TVs. Are you serious? I looked at one dude. I'm like, are you really gonna pay? You gonna pay your whole stimulus check on a TV? Can you eat that? Did you save any of it? Did you invest any of it? You took $1,200 and bought one thing, a TV, and then what? What happens when your electric go out and you can't play that? That beautiful TV that you just spent $1,200 on because you didn't pay your electric bill. Did anybody pay any bills? And then they're talking about, oh, we're gonna put people out now. Okay, but I think Trump put that on hold. But my thing is, if Trump hadn't did that, then would we be out on the street? Because they trying to evict some folks. And guess who they're going to evict first? Black family. Okay. We have to be smart. When we get $1,200, and you've been wanting, some of you guys on here been wanting your own business. What's stopping you guys? You guys got $1,200. You could have said, well, I'm going to put $500 aside, and I'm going to get with 5 of my sisters or 5 like-minded people, and we're going to create our own. Rather being a bakery, rather being a restaurant, and it could have, rather we invested in one of them trucks, or whether we invested in maybe let me tell you what I seen the other day. I seen a black family, and they got this barbecue thing, and it's under a tent. Okay, I'll take that. That's a start. Some people say, I ain't gonna start no business outside in no tent. You know what? Do you want your own business or not? Sometimes you got to walk for you crawl, because guess what? Ain't nobody going to give you no loan. So what are you going to do? You got to start from somewhere, and we start crawling before we walk. Go out there under that tent, and you be up under that tent for a month or 2. Okay. I'm just saying, if it's 6 of y'all, you're gonna make the money, and then you can be in your own building within the next month or the next month, 2 months. Okay. You could be in your own building. But at least you started somewhere, family. This is what I'm trying to get us to understand. The elephant in the room is that we need to come together. It's all about timing for us. If we are out of timing, we're not going to get that. We're not going to get that blessing. You got to be ready, standing, waiting. You've got to go for it. You've got to step out. You got to do something. You've got to do the work in order to get what's coming to you. You can't just sit there and hope and pray. Well, okay, you got to move. You got to move. Let me see what you're saying. Um, okay. Yes, my is voting for the lesser of two. Okay, well, let's go there. Septia. Septia. Let's talk about that. The lesser of two evils. Not one candidate has a political agenda for Black people. Minority is the catch-all term. Yep, I just said that. Yes, it is. The minority it could mean women. It could mean hunchback. It could mean what's that? What did Claude Anderson say? It could mean Jews. It could mean hunchback, one-legged, one-arm woman. It could mean white woman. It could mean anybody. But we have to understand that when we say the lesser of two evils, what does that mean? Why is it that Black people always have to settle? And who said that Biden or Trump is the lesser of two evils? Who said that? Is it because it's the Democrats who are card carrying? Both of them are card carrying KKK members. So what makes Biden so much better than Trump? I don't understand. I don't understand what makes Biden so much better. I'm trying to understand that. Why is he so much better? Because we have said that Democrats are the bomb, but Democrats have caused more harm. If you would look back, what did Hillary say? Hillary called our kids super predators, right? Clinton wrote the three strikes law, right? I mean, you have to understand the history. Okay, Obama did absolutely nothing for us. I mean, the history, how many out of all those three people, how many, and who's been in Congress, who's been in the Senate, I'm sorry, they can write laws, right? Who has wrote one law? Name, we've had how many? We've had several Democratic presidents. How many has actually wrote one law just for Black people? One. I'm not saying two. One. How many actually said, okay, I'm going to take care of police brutality? Police brutality, I seen a video the other day. It's been since slavery. Okay, the slave catchers. Okay, we've always been running, literally running from the police. Why nobody has attempted to write a law or attempted to do anything separately? But when it's time to vote, and we only vote in November, we don't go back locally to vote. That's the sad part. You want police brutality to stop, you vote locally. You get those bears out. Okay, let me read some of the stuff. Okay, you got here. Let me give you the thingy. Come on, Kyle. Here, let me do it. But you have to understand. Did it go? Okay. You have to understand, you guys. We're not desperate. We don't have to settle for less. We don't have to settle for Biden or Trump. We can run locally. We can run for these mayor's office. Okay. And you can get reparations through your mayor's office. You can, the city council, the school board. That right there will change. Change things. Okay. You can change your own situation. If you don't change your situation, nobody else will change your situation. Come on, Brandon. Let me add you on.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Come on here. Did I do it? Yeah, there you go. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. What's going on?
Man, listen. Trump is the guy. Without a question, without a shadow of a doubt, Trump is the guy. You said nobody passed anything that helped Blacks. Donald Trump signed the First Step Act into law. The first 2 months he signed the act, the First Step Act is where, it basically lets all those people out of jail who are like down south and all over, who've been put in jail for ridiculous amounts of time for petty crime. Like, I know I had a cousin, he got sentenced to 7 years in prison for having a little roach of weed in his car. Little tiny roach. These were laws designed to hurt Black people under the crime bill that Joe Biden authored and wrote and Bill Clinton passed.
Yep. Yep.
Trump
And the Black Caucus
signed the
stood
first.
behind it.
Trump,
And you
listen,
know the Black
Trump
Caucus stood behind
signed, yeah. John Lewis and all those coons. Trump signed the First Step Act, which is basically, like it says, the first step in reversing these types of racist laws that hurt blacks. Now, Trump didn't do it because he likes black people. He didn't do it because he
Right.
loves you. None of them love you. He did it because he felt like if he did a little something, if he threw you a butter biscuit,
Right.
that would be enough for you to go vote for him, right?
Right.
And let me tell you, I'm going to vote for the guy throwing me a butter biscuit before I vote for the dude who don't give a damn about me, which Trump don't either. But not only does he not give a damn about me, he doesn't even value my mind enough to say, look, let me at least give this guy a butter biscuit in exchange for his vote. Biden feels like he's entitled to the black vote. Yep. Biden hates blacks. There are montages on YouTube where he spoke out viciously against black people repeatedly. Yep. So when you ask me as a man with a family, I'm a man, okay? I ain't no little kid. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no woman in love with nobody. You know who? He's great. None of that. I'm looking at what's in my best interest. If I have a president who released people from prison, then turned around and invited them to the White House because he said he wanted them to be a part of the legislation and developing the legislation that's going to combat, mass incarceration, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with that guy 100% of the time because no black person on here, there's going to be people who don't agree with me, but no black person on here can tell me they've experienced that in their lifetime because no president ever brought black people to the White House, the lowly ones, and said, look, this impacted you. You help me understand this so I can better decide what legislation to choose moving forward. Donald Trump did that. We could sit up.
Guess what? Hold on, Brandon. You remember even with the Black Caucus, they would not even meet with him. Remember? The Black Caucus would not even meet with him.
Because the Black Caucus is only going to do the bidding of their white Democratic masters. I love Angela Stanton King. I love her. That is my girlfriend, okay? I love her. But she keeps it 100% real about how Donald Trump interacts with them. She said, I went to the White House. Donald Trump invited me to sit at the table when they was talking about prison reform. She said, Donald Trump asked her, what are some things you think that need to be changed? She said, I was humiliated when I had my baby when I was incarcerated. They chained me to the bed. Donald Trump immediately signed an executive order making it illegal to chain women up while they're having babies. That majority affects black women, okay?
Right.
You can sit up and argue for your little white masters and your little BS opinion, but the reality is black people love to argue for their limitation. They love it. They love to argue for that noose around their neck. But when someone tries to remove that noose, they say, look, let me take the noose off because look, I hate you just like the next white man, but I'm sick of being responsible for you. So I'm going to give you a little something so you can be responsible for yourself. We're scared of responsibility. So we're scared of power because with great power comes great responsibility. We don't want to be responsible for ourselves. So what we do is we sit up and vote for the change. And that's what the Democrats represent. Look at Biden. He ain't even president yet. This old cracker's already talking about a national mandate to wear a mask across your face. That is an infringement upon your liberty. I shouldn't have to wear a mask if I don't want to. So now you're going to elect a damn cracker who going to not only try to manipulate you and rob you, he's also going to try to control your individual liberty. And I guarantee that guy has look, his son's in bed with China. His son owes China billions in loans, right?
Yes.
Is it any surprise? That he's going to mandate masks? Where are we going to get all these masks from once he mandates? China. See, but our people, we don't like to think deeply. We just think, Trump doesn't hold his wife's hand. I don't give a damn about his wife. Trump wants to grab some girl by the cooch. I don't give a damn about those girls he's grabbing by the cooch. Black people love to virtue signal, pretending to care about stuff that we don't even care about to justify our ignorance and our laziness. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Period.
Right. And I totally
Trump's the
agree. I
guy. The
totally agree.
decision's obvious. We don't even need to be talking about this no more. If you're not going to vote for Trump, don't vote. But don't hinder my ability to do what I'm trying to do in Africa by voting in some freaking cracker who's going to be taxing my check even more than it's already getting taxed. Trying to pass stupid laws locking down the country so I can't get on a plane and go to Africa.
That's
Because
right.
that's
But
what's
guess
at
what?
stake. Biden's in the
But
pocket
guess,
of these companies, these healthcare
uh-huh.
companies. He's going to lock this country down again. And these dummies are going to let him do it, which is going to impact yours and my ability to make money and work on our
Yeah.
projects in Africa. Damn
Yeah.
Biden. I'm voting for Trump.
Yeah. But you have to understand, don't forget, Biden is getting ready to bring millions of immigrants into this country. So you
Of
think that you
course.
didn't have jobs before? You're really not going to have jobs now. So this is why I keep telling black folk, you guys better get your own businesses going and we start supporting each other. Because when they bring the rest of these immigrants in, these little McDonald jobs that you got, you won't be getting them
Gone.
at all. Gone. Done. So you guys go ahead and keep on voting for Biden and thinking he got your back and thinking that he gonna take care of you. And you get ready to see with him and Kamala Harris. And that woman ain't never been for black folk. She don't even
She's
want to.
not
She's
even
not even
black.
admitting. Right.
Kamala
She's not
Harris
even
is
black.
not even black.
Yeah. Nope. Nope.
Listen, listen. I want black people to do their due diligence. Go to any type of political thing she's been on and watch them introduce her as Indian American. Those
Indian
crackers
American.
know that Kamala Harris is not black. She knows it
Yep.
too. She
Yep.
identifies as Indian American. The
Indian.
only time
Yep.
she starts talking black crap is when she wants us
Around
to
us.
vote for her.
Yep.
And she, look,
Now
listen,
she's black. Yep.
Kamala Harris said that she believed all the women who claimed Joe Biden raped them. All of a sudden, they threw her butter biscuit, so now she supports Joe Biden. We have to
Exactly.
stop. Listen, black people have no concept of honor. We don't know what
Right.
honor is. So we get up and
Nope.
jump on in with any old crook, criminal, rapist, pedophile who we could attach ourselves to, who says, look, I keep a bottle of hot sauce in my back pocket. We don't think. We don't think about our children. We just think about us. How you gonna vote for a damn pedophile and you got kids? Talking about,
Exactly.
oh, as long as we get Trump out of office. Trump ain't the problem. Trump's trying to bust
Right.
these dudes as well. Now, why he's doing it is just for political gain. He just don't want them to come after him. So he's like, look, you try to hurt me, I'm gonna come after you. That's fine. But we
Right.
benefit.
Right.
Like I always say on my channel, I'm gonna give you a little bit of my juice, Cassie. There's a man who says, in this life, you only get two things: reasons or results. And the reasons don't matter. Only the
Right.
results matter. You could hate Trump. He's racist. He doesn't like his wife. He talks inappropriate about women. But guess what? When you vote against him, what's going to be the result of that? We lasted for 4 years under Trump. They told us, oh, it's going to be slavery. I remember when Trump got inaugurated, there was black people crying. Oh, we going back in chains. Now, if you's a damn fool who gonna let somebody put you back in the chain, speak for you. Because I'm
That's
going
right.
down shooting, period. I'm
Yeah.
not scared. And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a bunch of scary Negroes. If they was birds, they'll take off and fly somewhere else. They can't.
Right.
So what they do is they double down on stupidity and ignorance and sit up and walk up into the fox's den trying to avoid the wolf. Right?
Right.
But the
Right.
wolf is like,
Right.
look, I already ate. You better get to getting if you're gonna get now. So
That's
if
right.
you don't like Trump, go build in Africa. You don't like Trump, get your family situated so that you can financially go somewhere else. We are lazy. We want to vote for Biden so we can go back to putting our heads in the sand and pretending like we don't see what's going on in this country. And I'm going to vote for Trump. I will vote for Trump just so you can't go back to sleep, just so you can't put your head in the sand. I will vote for Trump. Don't play with me. Don't play with me because I hate Donald Trump and Joe Biden, but I hate an ignorant Negro even more than that. Because you know we are too close. We are too close to start doing this crap now. We don't have time
Yeah.
for this stuff. We are too close to the point of no return for you to be sitting up talking about, I'm going to vote for Biden because I don't like the way Trump's hair looks and stupid stuff that Negroes care about. Ignorance, Cassie. Can't deal with it.
That's true. That's true. That's true. And that's the sad part about it. I'm just hoping that they are here enough and wake up and start doing their own research. And that is the elephant that's in the room that we are refusing to acknowledge. We keep doing the same stuff. Oh, we've been in this boat for how long? When are we ever going to get out of the Democratic vote? We shouldn't have ever been in there in the first place, because they've never did anything. More things have happened with us voting Democrat than anybody else in the world. But we just won't get it. I don't know what it's going to take. I have no idea.
Kathy, when you vote, there's only one question you should ask. What am I going to get out of this? Biden to this day has not promised black people nothing. Kamala Harris says she will not do anything specific for blacks.
And
she's doing a lot for her. But guess what she's doing? But guess what she's doing? She's working on specific HB1 visas, which allow immigrants to come into this country to work in America, right? And you know who she's doing that for? She's doing that for all those Indian immigrants over there. Even in my city, I told everybody, in my city, I lived here my whole life. If you go downtown Long Beach right now, there is a big business building. If you go there between 11 and 1 o'clock, you will see nothing but Indians walking up out of there. Those Indians are being brought here by Indian companies in the United States on HB1 visas, where they can go and work here legally and make money. Kamala Harris, now there was a cap. Trump, now follow me. Trump put a cap on the HB1 visas, right? For everybody. He said, we ain't letting no immigrants come in here to do jobs that Americans can do. So he capped off the amount of visas that were given. Now, everybody hating on Trump, but Trump has protected American jobs doing stuff like that by not letting immigrants. He didn't say just black immigrants. He didn't say just white immigrants. He said all immigrants, we're going to block how many of them could come in here, period. Now, Kamala is proposing bills to take the cap off of the HB1 visas, right? Why do you think she's doing that? Because her Indian homies is like, look, you got to get those visas, the cap lifted off them visas so we can bring people on. And what she's going to do is she's going to say, well, it will lift the ban will be lifted for everyone. So it's for everybody, including Africans. Yeah. But in reality, you know what she's going to do? In closed doors, she's going to make sure that those Indians get those visas. That's what politicians do. Somebody didn't line up her pockets.
Yeah.
We have to stop being stupid. Black people have a good brain, but we criticize and hate on each other when we use it. I'm not going to be dumb. See, I'm in a position where I don't need no black folks to do nothing for me. But I still think with a mind towards black people. You got some black people who actually depend on other blacks. So you can shame them, ridicule them, humiliate them in so much that they'll actually vote against their own best interest. Look, I don't know how your mama and daddy taught you, but my mama and my grandma, they didn't raise no fool now. I ain't giving nobody nothing, not my vote, nothing, unless I get something out of it. And Kathy, the people who support Biden, they ain't got nothing. They don't want nothing. They don't want to be nothing. And they lazy and don't want to do no work.
And that's the sad part about it. But I tell you, we have just, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. That's all you just don't even know. At this point, you just don't know. You got out the boat and now you're getting ready to get back in the boat because of fear, because of what you've heard, not what you've seen. You're not even looking at what's going on. You're not even looking at what has happened over the 4 years. You've not saw anything. And we're just sitting back, but my thing is, I don't know what to do. We just keep talking. I guess just keep talking.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
Let me ask you a question, Kathy.
Go ahead.
We've already survived 4 years under Trump, right? And me personally, I don't think Trump's done such a bad job. But people are talking about we want change. How is anything gonna change by putting in an old fart who's been in politics for 40 years? If he had any good ideas, he would have introduced those under Obama. Why didn't he tell Obama how to fix everything? This chapter ain't got no ideas. All he got is your brain in a box. And you so damn scared, you don't even care about what's smart, what's dumb, what's right, what's wrong. You just gonna throw your vote away because you have been told by the TV in your room that Trump is bad. Why is he bad? Give me some evidence. None of these black people can highlight one thing Trump has done that impacts us negatively. The only thing is that he put Mexican kids in cages. Mexicans kill you. The other day, let me give you an example. Maurice, come here real quick. Come here. This is my nephew. Okay, you remember the other day when we were bike riding, right? What happened? What happened to me specifically? What happened with us, with that Mexican guy?
When we were bike riding, he stopped to pull over to get some gas, and the guy refused him the right to get gas.
To get air. But what happened with the other Mexican guy who pulled up in the car?
Oh, he pulled up and asked him, was he either a blood or a crip? One of those.
Right. I'm out with my family. These little dudes right here. We on bikes, and I'm with my wife too. A Mexican rolled up on me and was like, "Hey, fool, you a crip?" Now this guy was like in his 50s, right? So I know he wasn't gonna jump out and try to fight with me. These guys are murdering black people. But niggas is online talking about, what about Trump putting Mexicans in cages? I hope he put them in cages. I hope he eradicate them off the face of the earth. I hope he send them back to Mexico, send them back to Spain, back to Asia, to the caves of Europe. Wherever he gonna send them there. Because I got little young black boys that I have to worry about when they go outside because Mexicans want to kill black people in service of whites. And we gonna sit up and make a decision based on what somebody is doing to some Mexicans. We got to be outside of our mind, Kathy. We are not thinking. Right. We are not qualified to think properly. I'm living it every day. I'm voting for Trump. I hope he locked their ass up, and I hope he never let them out.
We're not thinking, and it's going to get us in trouble. And I'm praying, I'm hoping and praying. I mean, the two, I don't know. You know what? You just don't even know what to say right now, Brandy, because we're so used to voting Democratic. And they don't even understand the history. We weren't even Democrats. We were Republicans. And then we switched over to Democrat, and the Democrat was doing more harm to us. It just makes no sense. I don't even know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Every black person is not qualified to speak.
Huh?
Every black person is not qualified to speak on the condition of our people, because a lot of us just don't know. I always say this on the end of my streams. They either don't know, they don't show, or they just don't give a damn. There's a guy at Walmart right now. He's going to get off of his job, go smoke weed on his couch, play video games all night, beat up his girlfriend. But when you give that guy a keyboard on the internet, he's out here acting like he knows every solution for every black person everywhere. If you're not willing to work, you shouldn't be talking about black people. You got to focus on you first. You can't focus on everybody. The white folks don't put no fool up in front of everybody to speak on white people. They go look at his resume. What has he done? What has he accomplished? There's a reason why every cracker running for president is 75 years old and older. They putting billionaires and millionaires out there. We putting bums, Killer Mike, T.I., a bunch of fools. They're not qualified to represent our people. I'm not saying I'm qualified, but at least I got some damn sense.
Right.
At least I got some damn sense. I'm raising a family. I've been married for 12 years and I'm only 33. I'm more qualified than each fool, but everybody's not going to listen to me. They're going to go listen to single hood rat Judy, thug gangster Tyrone, because they're on the internet, able to pretend to be something they're not. Or we got to stop operating in stupidity.
Look, or Cardi B. Didn't Biden and who was that? Biden and the other guy talked to Cardi B and wanted to listen to her and wanted her to tell them about Americans. Remember they interviewed Cardi B?
Oh, of course, because they're gonna put the dumbest. They're gonna put the dumbest in front of that camera. That's what they do. You think they're gonna put me in front of that camera so I can tell every black person, make sure you're getting something when you vote. Stop voting for people who ain't giving you nothing. And your kids are gonna look at you and wonder who gave the country away. Who set us up the way we set up. I know I look at my parents. I look at my mom, I look at my dad, I look at my grandma, I look at my grandpa. I say, look, y'all can say whatever y'all want, but y'all a bunch of fools. And I'm going to go the other way. Because y'all spend all these years on this earth letting fear dictate what you're going to do. And I won't be like you. Don't even talk to me. We could get together on some holidays. We can have fun as a family. But I'll be damned if I let them dictate my political decision. I'll be damned if I let them dictate my spirituality, because I'm looking at their life. And what they did didn't get them nothing but more servitude. We got to change. We got to do it a different way. And I'm not insulting nobody who's older, but I'm telling you, if what I do don't work, I'm going to tell my daughter, don't do what I did. Do what you think is best, because what I did didn't work. I have a lot of
Right.
elders who I talk to, a lot of ex-Panthers, a lot of mentors. I have a lot of mentors who are older, 50, 60, 70. You know what they say? They say, young blood, do it your way. If what we thought would work worked, you wouldn't even be in this situation. They
Right.
said an old person,
Right.
they said an old person comes telling you that crap, don't even listen to them. I used to run
Yep.
a study group. One of my mentors, Jomo, he came to that study group because I told him it was an old guy who would come to the study group and calling me a coward and stuff because I wasn't for black people going down the street marching and fighting the police and protesting, right? I was like, we need to go to Africa. He said, man, you a coward. My mentor, Jomo, came. He's 65. He said, dude, get your ass out of here or I'm going to get up and throw your ass out. And when the guy got up and left, Jomo said, don't ever, he told everybody in the group, don't ever listen to people like that. Their mind is locked. Their mind is locked. And what they want to do is come spread their negativity on you. So you go throw your life away trying to relive so they can live vicariously through you. We ain't doing that. We're going to try to new, we're not going to go down the old path. We're going to find a new route and blaze a trail. That's what we're going to do. If older people want to support it, do it. If they don't do it. It don't matter. But we're not going to repeat the past mistakes. Cassie, even you guys kind of got it bad too, because a lot of you, in order to honor your parents, you imitated them, what they thought, what they believed, what they voted for politically, all that. They did you guys a disservice. But we're going to change that. We're going to change that. We're going to change that.
It's time to change it, and go ahead, do it. You know, my thing is, why do the same stuff over and over that we've been doing that we knew and we saw it didn't work? So why are we gonna keep on doing the same thing we know don't work? So my thing is, I do appreciate you being on here, Brandon. Thank you so much. We're gonna end the show. I appreciate it. Tune on in the next time. Thank you, you guys. But with everybody, I hope you heard something that encouraged you. I hope that you thought about, just think about before you vote. Think about what the future, think about what you want, think about, and I meant to tell Brandon, hey Brandon, if you still on here, put your business. He has a business, and I really meant him to, I wanted him to tell us about his business. He does have a business that he's planning, some African, buying land in Africa. I wanted him to put it in the comments. But I really hope that before we vote, and that we make sense out of what we're doing. Right now, we're getting ready to make the biggest mistake ever. We got out of the frying pan, and now we're getting ready to jump back into the fire, which makes no sense to why we keep going around the same mulberry bush. I'm tired of the same mulberry bush. It's time for a different bush. Okay, it's time to do more than going around a mulberry bush. It's time to make life work for us, and any means necessary. I do appreciate everybody that tuned in. I appreciate everybody that's going to tune in, that's going to see this program later. Thank you so much for YouTube. Thank you for my blog talk. We're gonna do it again next Thursday, and I might come on maybe next Tuesday. So just stay tuned. I'm trying to do more, waking my people up, and that's what it's all about for me, is waking up my people. With that said, you guys, I love you. Peace, and have an amazing rest of your weekend is coming up. Be safe. Don't forget to get your silver. So we talked about that already. And just keep your head on the swivel, you guys, and think before you do. Okay. Life is short, and you don't want to do something that's crazy and that could cost you your life. Okay. So think before you vote, because that could cost you your life also, because we're getting ready to get into some serious times, and we need a president in there that knows. I'm not saying that Trump is, was the best, but I think he's the best for right now for what we're getting ready to come in contact with. So you guys need to think about this, because Kamala and Biden is not going to take this country into anywhere but down. Okay. With that said, you guys have an amazing night, and thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time. Peace.